Hey guys, it's Ilonka Sims here, and I'm back with another, well, not a speed build, it's a renovation, but still sped up, so it's kind of a speed build. This is I think the fourth part of my renovation series. If you haven't seen the other ones, I think I renovated the Blue Velvet, which is a bar in, what's the name of the town? I can't remember the name of the town, it's so bad. The green world that came with the base game. I can't remember the name right now. The second thing I renovated was the gym in Windenburg, which I made a gym and a spa kind of combo. And then I did the hospital, and now here we are with the God House. If you watched my previous build, you can probably remember that I talked about doing this renovation, and I was really inspired by all the different roof decorations that we got with Get Together that I thought would work so well for the God House. And I don't like the flat roofs in the God House, so that's why I wanted to renovate it. It's also much too dark. Like, I know it's the God House, but it's so dark. But here we go, changing some of the things on the outside to make the roofs work, because as the building stood, like, when you go into the game, it just, you will probably not be able to get any kind of decent roof on the house. And again, I'm struggling with the roof anyway, so but I will figure it out in a little bit, and I think it looks really nice in the end, so I hope you did too. And maybe you can, if you play with the gods, you can change the house or anything like that. As you can see, we went with this really dark red brick, which, I don't know, I like it, but I wasn't quite feeling it, so I end up changing it later on, but you will see when we do. We go putting on these little decorative roof pieces, and God, I love them. I would normally not use them because I do so many modern builds, and obviously these won't work for a modern building, but they work so well, I think, for the God House. It's very much kind of a Gothic Victorian building, and the roof pieces just really make it look pop, I guess. I also wanted to use these little thingies that came out of the roof, and because of that I had to change the wallpaper on the outside, because the brick just wasn't working. It was much too dark, and we go instead with this kind of stone texture. It's a really nice stone texture, actually. I don't think I've used it before, but I really like it, and I think it works very well for this build. We go and put in some windows later on, but first we change the fence. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I guess not. I went with this fence from the Romantic Garden stuff pack, with some of the greenery on top, which I really liked for this building. I don't know why, but I really liked it. Considered changing the columns, but it wasn't working. I'd also tried to change the fence, but they didn't have a matching railing for the staircase, and I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So I changed it back to what it was anyways, and I will change the garden later on, like I think at the end of the video, but yeah, here I was on the inside, and I looked around and was like, okay, I need to fix the windows before I do anything on the inside. So we go fixing some of the windows, and there's a little cut because the inside was driving me crazy. There was so much stuff on the inside. I didn't know where to start with the renovation because there was too much stuff, so I took it all out, and I figured that's not very interesting to watch, so I cut it out. Well, I didn't record it, I think, but yeah, we put some greenery around the house as well, just on the brick, or well, not brick, on the stone texture, which I really liked. But here we are again on the inside. Make it a little bit more open plan without going too open plan. As you can see, I deleted everything, and I just put in some basic white walls that I changed in some places and I leave in some other places. I kept the kitchen mostly as it is though, because I liked the kitchen as it was. It's a much different kind of shape than what I would usually try to build, because I wouldn't think of building it like this, but I did really like it, so I didn't want to completely change it. And we changed some of the layout on this second floor, because if you, like, normally the building has a room in the, like, the little tower, but now the first floor of the tower, because I added another floor, the first floor of the tower was basically encased by the roof, and I couldn't get a staircase that fit to go even higher to the next level, so I had to put another room on the second level for, I think his name is Alexander, like the little boy in the God family. I try to keep in mind that this is the God family, and you know, there's Bella and Mortimer and then Cassandra, and yeah, I think it's Alexander, the little kids at least. Well, Cassandra wasn't a little kid, but you get what I mean. But here we are in the living area. I kept the fireplace, and I put a huge TV above it. I was like, I need to put a TV above it, and I started actually with a smaller one, and I looked at it and it's like, nope, it needs to fit with the size of the fireplace, so it's ridiculously big. But here I put in a little bit of wallpaper. I think I just keep it a neutral color. Also, I use some really pink colors in here. I'm guessing in my head it's just Bella really likes pink, and she had a lot to say about the house, and not Mortimer himself. He's kind of, I don't know, like, people don't care about Mortimer, and I guess it's the same for me. But we changed some of the things around, and we put the chairs in this little nook that comes out, kind of like a bay window area. You can just sit and read maybe, and still see the TV as well. I also didn't want to put any other chairs here in the couch area because I thought it was too much. But we changed the colors a little bit, and we moved the bookcases to the sides because I thought it looked better. And then we just put a little end table with a painting in between the windows. Also, there were curtains that fit the taller windows. I was so surprised. I was like, damn it, I didn't think about that. Am I going to find curtains that fit? And I did. I was so surprised. But we put just, I think, this painting there, and of the piano, and another pink rug, and just some pink decorations to tie it all together. A little flower. Anyways, if you hear me sniffling or whatever, I still have a cold. If you didn't watch my previous video, I spent all day outside queuing for a concert, and the weather was really bad. It was cold, and it kept hailing, like every half hour or hour it started hailing. It was horrible. In case you're in, like, let's say like West Northern Europe, you've probably had horrible weather as well, just like most of the Netherlands has the past couple of days. It's been horrible. Also, I'm talking about the weather, that's awesome. No, but the weather's been ridiculous, honestly. But anyways, back to the build. Back in the kitchen, trying to put in some more detailing and all that. I wanted to go with this fancy coffee machine from Get Together, but it was too big, it took up too much space, so I just went with the regular one. I also put all these bamboo plants around the place, and I deleted some because it was too much, but I really like the bamboo plants actually. I think they're nice and modern somehow, and they're not the same that I always use. I always use the same plants. Also, I actually bought some bamboo myself. Probably because of The Sims, which is the strangest thing. Have any of you ever done that? That you've made a decision to buy something or do something, and then afterwards you're like, did I do this because of The Sims? Because I have definitely done that quite a few times. But yeah, we're working on this kind of, I don't know, study/skills area. So we have these two tables that I put together as desks, and then there's this piano, and I think I put some violins next to it, and then just some seats to, I don't know, listen to people play music or just hang out, I suppose. But yeah, I put in both a kid's violin and an adult violin. Also, I'm pretty sure I did all this with the funds that the gods already had. Like, I didn't cheat in any money for them to renovate their home, which is interesting, I suppose, but it works out pretty well, and I really like it. And it's, yeah, I usually don't like building with constraints in terms of money, but I figured when I started this, let's try not to cheat in money, and I actually didn't look at the money at all while I was building this. I just didn't have to, I suppose. They're pretty damn rich. Move some of the things around again, because the bathroom was much too big for just a toilet and sink. And then we could extend the kitchen a little bit, which I think is pretty nice. Going around the place, seeing if I had to put in any more detailing. I kept it very simple, especially the hallway is just pretty much empty, but if you want you can always add something, of course. But here we are upstairs working on the main bathroom, which I suppose is for the kids, because there's an ensuite in the master bedroom. It's very simple, I suppose. It's very much the same kind of style that was in my previous build, if you saw that, but we put in the screen wall instead, and I really like how the green wall works. I've been doing that in a lot of my buildings, putting in the screen wall, but I really like it. It's also something that just added something modern to the bathroom, which I think is good. And I also did immediately the little ensuite for Bella and Mortimer's room, so I had to go back and forth because I had some decorations and I was like, oh, we should put some decorations like this also in the other room. But here we are in the main master bedroom. It's very red, like I still am not sure if I like how red it is, but I don't know, I had this idea that I wanted to make it red, probably because most of the house was red before I started working on it, and I tried to figure out what to do with this area and it frustrated me for so long. I make it work in the end, but for now I put in these, like, what are they? They are like lockers actually, but they work as wardrobes anyways. I changed them, don't worry about it. But we put in this little seating area, just a little nook where you could sit and have a chat away from the kids, I suppose, if you want to. Put a little mirror above the bed. Try to figure out what to do with the whole room, because I didn't know what to put in. Like, especially bedrooms these days. I mean, I get so sick and tired of trying to build a bedroom and they all end up looking the same. But here we go, putting in some of these white closets and some bamboo, because I love the bamboo. And they added a little bit of a modern twist again to the room, because it is supposedly renovated, so I wanted to, like I did in the previous build, mix some of the different styles. But here we are in Cassandra's room, and I started with this really light kind of natural tones and all that, and I was thinking, nope, I want it to be like a goth girl, like a real goth. So her room ends up being really, really dark and just, I think, mostly just purple accent colors. It's interesting. I go back at the end to change a few small things, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure if I like it. I've been struggling with bedrooms because they tend to look the same. We really need some new beds in game because it's ridiculous. I put up some posters because she is just a teenage girl, so I figured, you know what, regardless of what kind of person she is, she needs some posters and a desk area to do her homework. I keep thinking, like, should I give the kids, like teenagers or whatever, should I give them a PC in their room? Like, by the time I started uni, like late high school, I had my own laptop, but I don't know how it would be like these days. I am almost finished in uni, so it's been a couple years, but it used to be much different, I suppose, when I grew up. But I typically don't put in the a computer or whatever, because then they can just at best to do the homework. It's so important to do your homework. But here we are in Alexander's room? Yeah. I'm just gonna call him Alex. We're in Alex's room. Which is, it's a very simple room. Like, I didn't make it very dark or anything. And in my head, he's like kind of a nerdy kid. I don't know why. I looked at him and he was like, he's a nerdy kid. It's bad to judge people on their appearance, but especially in The Sims you do anyways. It makes sense. We put a little bookshelf there. We go back to this room because it was too simple, so we changed the wallpaper, considered a few ones, but we go with this brown and blue combo, I think. Tried to combine the different wallpapers, but I wasn't feeling it. But here we are back in Cassandra's room to change some of the wallpaper. We end up putting in some of this wood, which, I don't know, her room looks a little weird and very, very dark, but I do kind of like it. Putting in a white chair. I guess some of the white detailing makes it look a little less extreme. Putting in this little purple end table as some decorations. I kept it very simple. I always feel like putting in too much decoration is not a good thing, but I don't know. But here we are on the outside. I love how this outside area ends up looking again, like my previous build. I don't know what's been happening with me. I usually suck at building outside things, but it's been going very well, and I don't know, I really like it. Tried to find a specific plant that I saw somewhere in the neighborhood with some of these white flowers, and I found it, no worries. But we put in a little pond. And I think we put, again, with some rocks around it and just a little fountain and all that. I didn't put rocks all around the side because I figured it would be too much. I did it in my last build, but I didn't want to do it again. Tried to figure out what kind of fountain I wanted to put in. So I put in some of these fish, or one of the fish I suppose. And then these round fountain thingies near the rocks, which I really liked. Then I put in these rocks as a kind of a walkway to the other side. I think in the end your Sims probably can't get to the other side because there's a lot of greenery, like flowers and stuff around it, but it looks nice anyway, so obviously your Sims cannot actually walk across the fountain, but I do really like the way it looks. I put this like really fancy statue and all that from I have to keep thinking about the names of these specs, which is awful. I should just be able to remember. But it's from the Romantic Garden stuff. And we put some of these flowers where we have the greenery on the house. Just to make it look as if it's actually coming from the ground and not just there randomly, kind of. But we use a lot of these decorations from Romantic Garden stuff and a lot of the flowers too. And it works very well for this kind of build, I think. It wouldn't work too well in any build, but I think it works really nicely in this build. The flowers and all that are mostly like pinks and then some blue and purpley tones. Which is nice, I guess. Not any yellows or oranges, which I usually do use, but I don't know. I felt like doing something a little bit different. But yeah, here you can see we have this little seat, which again I don't think your Sims will actually be able to get to, but it looks really cute anyways, and there's plenty of seating anyways, so your Sims won't need to sit there. And if you really want them to sit there for whatever reason, you can always just use testing cheats and transport them to the other side of the fountain, I suppose. and putting in some more plants and shrubs. I leave a little empty space as you'll be able to see in a little bit, and then I just put a barbecue there, put in some rocks on place again, and of course terrain paint. I never used to do that in The Sims 3, and then I remember seeing somebody on YouTube, I can't remember who honestly, putting like terrain paint around plants and all that. I was like, why do I ever do that? That doesn't make any sense. Of course it's supposed to have some dirt around the plants, but I'm a weird person. I don't think too much about what I do. At least I didn't used to. I do these days, but yeah, we have this little table, and then just a simple bench and some poofs thingies. I still don't know what to call them. I have to look it up, but I keep forgetting. But we are in the front garden where I put the monkey bars because they didn't quite fit behind the fountain in the backyard, and well, why not put it in the front yard? I mean, it's a little different maybe, but it works. And here we are in the screenshots. As always, if you want to see me build something, let me know. I usually like having people suggest things because I run out of ideas all the time. Also, if you like this and you want to put it in your world, regardless of whether you play with the gods or not, just check the description. There should be a download link there. But that's it for me. I will talk to you next time. Bye guys!